south of town, a friendly country village with mountains all around. 50 years have now gone by since it all began. They built a little wooden school right here in Crossmaglen. Now I'm back here again, neath the hills of Crossmaglen, where I started my childhood days. In this tiny little school I was taught the golden rule, to live my life in a good old country way. The building had been standing for 20 years and some, when I moved it here so long ago from out past Bellingham. And while we celebrate today, Takenhoff still standing guard, as she did for 50 years above the old schoolyard. Now I'm back here again, neath the hills of Crossmaglen, where I started my child. Let the light shine in, let the breezes blow. Look up to the sky, let the morning sun shine on your face, and let your troubles all go by. If you toss at night and sleep won't come, it's darkest before the dawn. But when the sun comes up and the birds all sing, you'll find your worries are. As the hours drift away to a dreamy melody, and the dawn comes to seal our last goodbye, let me hold you in my arms, drinking deeply in your charms. Oh, my darling, let's dream a little while. Just pretend Just pretend the night is young and made for all nations. Are growing everywhere, all the gullies and ridges are filled, and the gentle breezes blowing from the sea around the Coffs Harbour hills. And when the springtime comes around, with the golden water in bloom, a waterfall up in the hills echoes away at you. You can see the waves breaking on the shore, as fishing boats can be seen.
Are you going home for Christmas? He little knew the sorrow that was in his vacant chair. He never guessed I'd miss him, or he'd surely have been there. He couldn't see his mother, or the lump that filled her throat, or the tears that started falling as she read his hasty note. And he couldn't see his father, sitting sorrowful and dumb, or he never would have written that he thought he couldn't come. He little knew the gladness that his presence would have made, and the joy it would have given, or he never would have stayed. He didn't know how hungry had the little mother grown, once again to see her baby and to claim him for her own. He didn't guess the meaning of his visit Christmas Day, or he never would have written that he couldn't get away. He couldn't see the fading of the cheeks that once were pink, and the silver in the tresses, and he didn't stop to think how the years are passing swiftly, and next Christmas, it might be, there would be no home to visit, and no mother dear to see. He didn't think about it. I'll not say he didn't care. He was heedless and forgetful, or he'd surely would have been there. Are you going home for Christmas? Have you written you'll be there? Going home to kiss the mother and to show her that you care. Going home to greet the father in a way to make him glad. If you're not, I hope there'll never come a time you'd wished you had. Just sit down now and write a letter. It will make their heartstrings hum with a tune of perfect gladness, if you'll tell them that you'll come.
Though Satan often tempts you and tries to make you doubt, the Lord is near to take you by the hand. With his loving arms around you, he will gently lead you out. He'll comfort you and give you grace to stand. Standing somewhere in the shadows, you'll find Jesus. He's the only one who cares and understands. Standing somewhere in the shadows, you will find him, and you'll know him by the nail prints in his hand. And you'll know him by the nail prints in his hands. When I was born, I had 2 eyes, 2 arms, and a head of hair, a nose, a little willy, everything was there. 10 fingers and 10 little toes, everything was complete. I had 2 legs that looked alike, on the end were little feet. There's corns and calluses, rheumatism, cramps and gout, a lifetime on those battered feet wore the poor little buggers out. Those legs of mine were my best friends, they didn't argue at all. They got on well together, and they really had a ball. They run, they jumped, they danced, they played, my life was so complete. But finally they let me down, my 2 little feet. Yes, finally they let me down, my 2 little feet.